Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is the day the balance changes got announced. So let's talk about the balance changes, everything which is new in the new maintenance break. I guess it's going to be in a maintenance break. So let's take a look at the news tab and let's take a look at the upcoming balance changes. So we have a couple of small things and we have something which is not listed in game but in the forums, and we're going to talk about that as well. So I would say we get started with the new buff of the cannons, which to you guys might sound like Supercell lost their mind, but actually this 10 HP, because max cannons will get a 10 HP buff, which you guys might think like they lost their mind, it's all over yet, but the reason for that is the Royal Champion. So let's take a look at the Royal Champion. If it's if she's completely maxed out and her ability is doing exactly 1860 damage, which means she's like one-shotting cannons so easily, but with this 10 HP buff, those cannons will survive. Obviously, you guys might think now, okay, well, those 10 HP, she would just one-shot them after, but still, this means the cannons will get a little bit more DPS out. This means traps around the cannons will be still triggered, which means cannons from now on are safe spots. If you place spring traps around cannons at the moment on the current patch, this means the spring traps might be useful because the Royal Champion is just using her ability and all of the springs around her is getting like completely useless, I guess. So this means if you combining her with the Hawk Riders, for example, and you're using the Royal Champion back end for a couple of cannons, those spring traps in between are not getting triggered. But for now, placing a spring trap in between of two cannons is a safe spot, because this means the Royal Champion cannot one-shot them, which means Hawk Riders will most likely go that path, which means they will be triggered. So this is a huge thing, way more important than you guys might think. So this is the first change, which isn't too bad. And the next change is going to be really nice as well. It's going to be Yeti mites are no longer triggering traps, which in my opinion, I don't know, they were always kind of like the skeletons of the witches, so they shouldn't have triggered traps anyway. But now you guys think, is this actually a buff to Yetis, or is this actually a nerf? Like, what is the reason with that? And I think the easiest one how to show you that that's actually a nerf is to giving you, or like to show you guys a replay. But before we're jumping into that, a quickly kind of like a heads up of what is in the last couple of minutes of this video is first community tab. We'll talk about that, obviously. And the next thing is going to be they're fixing an exploit which a lot of high trophy players are abusing at the moment. And we'll talk about that in a second as well. So let's get first into the attack, and then I will explain to you guys why Yetis get a small nerf, but not always. So let's take a look at this one. So let's go into the friendly war, in the war against sticks and balls. And now we get into on number 17, I think it is. Yep. Number 17, and this is a Royal Champion, a Yeti attack. We will talk about what impact does this actually have, and whether it's actually important, whether it's actually a buff or a nerf to the Yetis. So we have kind of like a normal Yeti smash with 9 Yetis, which means only Yetis in this one. No P.E.K.K.A, no witches, no bowlers, no anything, only Yeti. And the reason for this actually being a nerf to the Yeti is kind of simple. Those Yeti mites, most of the time, going ahead of the Yetis, which means they are by ease triggering spring traps, which is a huge deal for Yetis, because Yetis in the housing space are perfectly aligned with the housing space of a max spring trap, which means a max spring trap can easily get rid of one Yeti. At the same time, for example, like for P.E.K.K.A, let's talk about P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A at the same time, they have a bigger housing space, which means they cannot get spring away from a max spring trap. So that's the main difference, and this makes now Yeti way more risky to use, because the Yeti mites cannot any longer trigger the traps. And when a Yeti is actually getting spring trapped away, they don't spawn any more Yeti mites. So you guys saw it on the right side. I will just pause it over here. So what the Yetis did, they triggered a spring trap over here, which might be more important about like later for Hawk Riders or something like that, and even bigger, the skeleton trap over here. This skeleton trap now is getting lured into the poison, which makes it near to useless. And in addition to that, you want sometimes to have spring traps at high damage locations, which in this sense, like they got triggered and got killed on the outside, which means they're completely useless. In addition to that, let's keep rolling and get through the base. Next one is the giant bomb and another skeleton trap at the top. You guys can see it once again. It's getting triggered and it's getting lured into the Yetis which means the Royal Champion, which is on the outside, and she hasn't the highest hit rate, which means she is kind of slow in taking those skeletons down, which might be another thing where the Yetis now triggered the traps way too early. So those Yeti mites do not trigger any more traps. I think it's going to be a nice nerf, but at the same time, for all of you guys who think like, oh no, now I have finally maxed Yetis and now they're nerfing them to death, that's not the case. It's only a nerf if you know how to build against them. If you do not know how to place traps anyway, well, you're like, there's no difference for you, obviously. So I think it's only a nerf for all of the competitive guys, because most of them know how to place the traps, and if you guys copy any of my bases, well, then you have the benefit of this as well. So spring traps are getting way more important again, especially against all of those spammy troops like the Yetis, and I think this is a really nice solution for fixing the Yetis without making them actually weaker, without like changing their stats. So let's hope that's enough. Like I said, I think right now Yetis are the by far most used troop in Legend League. And, well, let's see. I don't think that will change, but let's see if we can defend better against the Yetis overall. So this is the next change, which is in this balance change update. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not like decreasing the HP of Yetis by 90% or something. I don't know, like, Yetis are still Yetis, but only the Yeti mites got this, like, basically are not the same as skeletons of witches, from the thinking. So let's talk about the next point, which is going to be the community tab. Actually, in the English like overlay, this is already kind of the case. This is the For You section, kinda, where Eric is in, the Clash of Clans teaser for the Royal Champion, and I'm actually in there as well for the English one. Out of the German community, for example, does not have this. So this For You section is only for English at the moment, and this will be now added hopefully for all of the languages, which means like there's a huge community tab, and I don't know, I just would like to see how it works. I would like to see if people are actually clicking those videos in game. So let's see if it works. The next thing, which is, like I said, not in this list, and this is why I would just like read it out, because it's in the list of Darian in the forums, which he posted over there. So let's take a look at that one. So what he's saying is, we're implementing a high priority fix to prevent some players from exploiting high level multiplayer games, as this exploit goes against our fair play values. So further down there, he's, let me find that really quickly. He's saying that a lot of people actually think that they did not, like, Supercell did not really care about this problem, and they're now looking deeper into this, like trying to figure out what is going on, and well, trying to get the first fix out hopefully. And for me personally, I'm really happy about that, but at the same time, I'm only believing that it's actually working until it's out there and it actually worked. And in my opinion to that, they should not only fix the problem, they should always go for, if someone's breaking the terms or like the fair play rule of them, then I don't know, like just ban them in my opinion, or like give them at least like a warning ban. But I think just fixing the exploit won't make too much of a difference, because people will always find ways on how to cheat. So that's just my opinion. But guys, let me know what you think about those changes which are coming. Which change are you most excited for? Is it the balance change of the Yeti or the Royal Champion, or is it like the hopefully fix of the leaderboard? I mean, I do not want to point fingers at anyone. I mean, it's totally up to you who you think might be targeted with this change. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. So that's totally up to you guys. And like I said, let me know what you think about this change. If you guys would like to see me live stream, like I said, always in my videos, always from Friday to Sunday, from 6 to 8 p.m. CET. Like I said, get the time zone always right, otherwise you might miss it. And I'm streaming every single day from 8 to 10 p.m. in German. But you can still enjoy the attacks if you would like to join me over there. Chat with me in the chat. I'm always trying to answer a couple of English questions as well. And yeah, that's basically for this video. So let me guys know what you think about those changes. What is the most exciting one for you? I'm really excited for the Yeti change, because so far whenever I try to play spring traps against the Yetis, then I don't know, the Yeti mites always trigger those spring traps, so it felt kind of useless. So this is kind of something which I'm looking forward, And obviously I'm looking forward whether it's actually working to fix everything which is happening at the top of the leaderboard. So that would be kind of nice to see if that fix is actually working in the end. And yeah, like I said, guys, let me know what you think about that in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video or today in the live stream. So see you guys, and bye bye.